Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Yainanai, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.
And we're now going to begin the morning service, the Shacharit service. We're on page 147 if you have the Siddur in front of you, or the PDF, or you can follow along here. Shochen Ad.
Shochen ad marom v'kadosh shemo v'chatuv ranenu tzadikim b'Adonai l'aisharim nava tehila b'fi sharim tithalal uv'divrei tzadikim titbarach uv'shon chasidim titromam uv'kerev kiddushim titkadash Yainanai, yainanai, nainai, yainanai, yainanai, nainai, yainai, yainanai, yainanai, nainai, yainanai, nainai, nainai. Sheken chova kol yitzurim lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Elokei Avotenu v'Imotenu lehodot, lehalel, לשבח, לפאר, לרומם, להדר, לברך, להלל, לקלס, על כל דברי שירות ותשבחות, דוד בן ישי, עבדך משיחך. ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו, היה המלך הגדול והקדוש בשמיים ובארץ, כי לך נאה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואימותינו. ברכות והודאות מעתה ועד עולם, ברוך אתה אדוני, אל מלך גדול בתשבחות, אל ההודאות, אדון הנפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך אלכי העולמים.
And we rise, Yitgadal.
יקדל ויקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם עולמי המאיה, יפרח וישתבח ויפאר וירומם וינשא וידבר וידלה וידלה שמי לקודשה ברכו לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בימיו יאמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Va'ed.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, יוצר אור ובורא חושך, עושה שלום ובורא את הכל.
And we are seated as we continue. We are on page 153 toward the bottom of the page, the end of this section. Of course, you can fill in the blanks if you would like of the service on your own.
אור חדש על ציון תאיר ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו, ברוך אתה אדוני יוצא המאורות. Ahava Rabba, Ahavtanu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Ahava Rabba, Ahavtanu, Adonai, Eloheinu, Chemla, Gidola, Vitera, Chamalta Aleinu, Ahava Rabba, Ahavtanu, Adonai, Eloheinu, V'ha'erinenu b'toratecha, v'dabek lebeinu b'mitzvotecha, v'yached levavenu le'ahava u'lira et shemecha, v'lo nevosh le'olam va'ed, v'lo nevosh le'olam va'ed, ki v'shem kodshecha hagadol v'hanora b'hataknu, nagila v'nismecha, nagila v'nismecha b'shuatecha. V'havienu l'shalom me'arba kanfot haaretz, v'tolichenu kol miut le'artzenu, ki el poel yeshuotata, uvanu v'charta b'kolam v'lashon, v'keraftanu l'shimcha hagadol, sela be'emet lehodot lecha, u'liachedcha b'ahava, Baruch atah Adonai, habocher b'amo Yisrael b'ahava. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
And the Shema continues, our central prayer, on page 156.
אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
You notice at the bottom of the page an enlarged word, emet, truth, or here translated as truly. And this is the main focus as we transition from the blessings of before the Shema and the Shema itself, which focus on revelation and nature, to the blessing after the Shema, which leads us toward redemption. And the key to all of it is truth, which is so elusive in our own time. And so we celebrate this prayer and meditate upon it with a special meditation that's repetitive, almost mantra-like, that the cantor will lead.
And I invite you to join us in repetition of these words that are here both in the Hebrew and transliteration, or even if it's just soothing to you to place a hand on your heart and keep the beat along with us. Okay? Emet, emet, ויציב, ונכון, וקיים, וישר, ונאמן, ואהוב, וחביב, ונחמד, ונעים, ונורא, ואדיר, ומתוקן, ומקובל, וטוב, ויפה, הדבר הזה עלינו לעולם ועד. אמת ויציב ונכון וקיים וישר ונאמן ואהוב וחביב ונחמד ונעים ונורא ואדיר ומתוקן ומקובל וטוב ויפה הדבר הזה עלינו לעולם ועד. אמת ויציב ונכון וקיים וישר ונאמן ואהוב וחביב ונחמד ונעים ונורא ואדיר ומתוקן ומקובל וטוב ויפה הדבר הזה עלינו לעולם ועד.
And we return to our Siddur, to our regular prayer book, as we go to page 158, the blessing of redemption, and it's introduced with the Micha Mocha, middle of the page.
תהילות ליל היום ברכו ומבורך משה ומרים ובני ישראל לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נהדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלה שירה חדשה שבחו גאולים לשמך על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור ישראל קומה בעזרת ישראל ופדך נאומך יהודה וישראל גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו קדוש ישראל ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
And we continue now with the Amidah, which we will begin out loud, page 159.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotinu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah Ha'eh hagadol hagibur v'hanora el elyon Gomer chasadim tovim v'koneh hakol v'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot u'mevii goel לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ופוקד ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ופוקד שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכל חיים בחסד, מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים.
Amen. Kedusha.
נקדש את שמך בעולם כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך וכרזה אל זה ואמר.
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech kol haaretz kevodo.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאו, מלוך הארץ כבודו. אז בקול רעש גדול, אדיר וחזק משמיעים כה, מתנשאים לעומת שרפים לעומתם, ברוך יאמרו.
Baruch kevod Adonai mimkomo.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. ממקומך מגנו תופיע, ותמלוך עלינו, כי מחכים אנחנו לך. מתי תמלוך בציון, בקרוב בימינו לעולם, ועד תשכון. תתגדל ותקדש בתוך ירושלים, עירך לדור ודור, ולנצח נצחים. ועינינו תראינה, תראינה מלכותך, כדבר האמור בשירי עוזך, על ידי דוד משיח צדקך.
Yimloch Adonai li'olam Elohai Tzion l'dor v'dor. Hallelujah.
ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי אל מלך גדול וקדוש אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני.
Shemo. Amen. And the rest of the Amida, the silent part, isn't as conducive to do on a mass Zoom scale. So I've placed the PDF in the chat, the link. You can use that. Go at your own pace. And Cantor Katie will conclude the Amida with on page 166.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, v'kol Yisrael, v'kol yoshvei tevel, v'meru, v'meru.
Now, if you have been standing, you may be seated as we conclude the Shacharit, the morning service, with Kaddish Shalem. And if Ilana happens to be in the house, She should get herself set up and ready to go for the Torah service in just a minute.
יקרא ויקרא שם רבה,
Nay.
ועמד דברה כרותיה, וימליך מלכותיה בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי לכו בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו, אמן. יהי שמרה במברך, לעלם ולעלמי המאיה. יפרח וישתבח ויפעל ורומם ונשא, ותדע ותעלה ותעלה שמי קודשה. ברכו לאל, אמן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ונחמתה, תאמירה מימה ואמרו, אמן. תקבל תלתכון ובתכון כל ישראל, קודם ובהון ושמיה ואמרו, אמן. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ויעקב ישראל ואמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו, amen.
And Shabbat Shalom to everyone. It's great to see all of you here in our virtual reality. For those who are guests, welcome from out of town and from everywhere. I guess there is no such concept as out of town when we're in this sort of geographic void. But there are two anchors, three actually, of this service. One you've just seen, the cantor, where she's leading from. I'm up here in the chapel of Temple Bethel, and I'm Rabbi Hammerman, by the way. And we happen to have a bat mitzvah somewhere down below in the sanctuary. And let's see, where is she? I don't see her. Ilana, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay, great. So she is going to lead us in the Torah service. Now, the Torah service is found in the Siddur, and I'm not going to be featuring it so that we can follow Ilana. But it's on page 168. You have the translation, or rather the PDF in the chat, and you can use that. Also, Ilana, if I can ask you to lower the laptop top just a little less, a little less. We want to see your face, but we also want to see the ark, because your parents are going to go back to the ark and open it, yes, when we tell them to. So they should go back to the ark now, and we'll open it in just a minute as we begin the Torah service. And Sarah can go too.
Sorry, they're just coming.
Oh, that's all right, no problem. This is fun. I get to be rabbi and stage director at the same time. And welcome to everyone who's there in the sanctuary, the immediate family. You can see our beautiful sanctuary and ark in the background.
Okay, should I start?
If they're ready to go, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Just go back. They should go back to the ark. Okay.
En kamocha Elohim Adonai ve'en kema'asecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai imlach le'olam va'ed Adonai oz le'moitein Adonai yivarech et hamo v'shalom Avarachamim hitiv avirtonecha et Zion tifnei chomot Yerushalayim tifnei chomot Yerushalayim Ki v'cha levad batachnu melech el ram v'nisa Adon olamim.
The ark is opened.
ויהי בנשוא אהרון ויאמר משה קומה אדוני ויפוצו אויביך וינוסו משנאיך מפניך כי מציון תצא תורה כי מציון תצא תורה ודבר אדוני מירושלים ברוך שנתן תורה תורה ברוך שנתן תורה תורה לעמו ישראל בקדושתו.
Okay, so now you're going to go back to the ark, and your dad is going to give you the Torah. Okay, Lori and Rafe, can you close the curtain of the ark and then follow Ilana back up to the laptop? I mean, to the bima. And, oh, yeah, we definitely will be air kissing that Torah in just a second, but back up just a step so you can do the Shema, and then we'll repeat.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Gadol Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo.
Gadolul Adonai iti uneramnem Shemo yachdav.
Lecha Adonai Hagidura.
Okay, now we're going to air kiss the Torah.
V'hagivura.
Here we go. Mwah.
והתפארת והנצח וההוד כי כה בשמיים ובארץ כי כה בשמיים ובארץ לך אדוני
Okay, you can put the Torah
הממלכה
down on the table.
והמתנשא לכל ראש.
Great. So yeah, we're going to take off the top and put, off the mantle and set it down nicely, neatly. The mantle can go on the other table and everyone can be seated. All right. So let me just get myself set up here on the bima near the ark here at in the chapel. And Shabbat Shalom to everyone. So the Torah reading today is Vayetze. Vayetze is sort of now we're heading to the second level of the story of Jacob and his family, and this is where he really expands his family dramatically. First, he begins by taking a journey from his homeland, escaping the wrath of his brother Esav, and he has the famous dream with the ladder, all that stuff. Then he finds his way to his ancestral homeland where he meets up with his relatives and ends up marrying like half of them and having lots of kids. And that's the point where we are in the story. We read from the triennial cycle. We read a third of the portion each year. So we're reading the second part of the triennial cycle this year. So we're going to be showing some of the Torah readings as they're being read, but mostly focusing on the readers. So in the chat, I have put the PDF of our Chumash, the Eitz Chaim Chumash. You can click on that and follow the reading yourself. We start on page 176, verse 14, and we'll see about one of Jacob's children, Reuben, as we start, and then we'll go on to hear about more of them. Okay, so we have 7 aliyot and 7 Torah readers, and let's bring the first aliyah up. If you are assuming you're at home or somewhere, all you need to do is to unmute yourself so that we will pick you up as you do the aliyah and the reading. If you need the blessings in front of you, let me know and I will get it up on the screen. Otherwise, I'm assuming you have the Torah blessings and, of course, your reading there. So our first aliyah is Neil and Robin, and we've got our Torah reader coming up too, I hope. So Ya'amod Nachum ben Gershon Halevi, Ta'amod Rachel ben Yosef Chana Sarah Lerishon.
Aku Adonai HaBarak,
Baruch Adonai Baruch Li'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBarak Li'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher nafanu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vayelech Ruven bimei kitzur chitim, vayimtza hadodaim basadeh, v'yaveh otam Eleah imo, v'tomer Rachel Eleah tnina hali v'dudadeh b'nech, v'tomer la hamat kachtech et ishi, v'lekachat gam et dudei b'ni. ותאמר רחל, לכן ישכב איתך הלילה, תחת דודאי בנך. ויבוא יעקב מן השדה, וערב תצא לאה לקראתו, ותאמר אלי תבוא, כי שכור שכרתיך בדודאי בני, וישכב עמך בלילה הוא.
Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam, v'tah b'tocheinu, Baruch Atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Yeshar Koach. Rafe, we got to get you on our Torah reading rotation. That was great. All right, our second aliyah is Joey Gilbert. Yamod Yosef ben Yitzchak v'Esther. And Josh, look at the reader. Sorry, go ahead.
Baruch Adonai HaBarak,
Baruch Adonai Baruch Li'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Li'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher b'charbonu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayishma Elohim Eleah Hatahar V'tilad Yaakov ben Chamishi V'tomer Leah Natan Elohim Zagari Asher natati shivchati liishi V'tikra Shemo Yisachar V'tahar od Leah V'tilad Beshishi Yaakov V'tomer Leah Tavadni Elohim Oti Zever Tov Hapam Yizbeleni Ishi Ki Ladati Lo Shishai Banim Vatikra et Shemo Zebulun Ve'achar Yalda Bat Vatikra et Shema Dina.
Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu, Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Yeshar Koach, Josh. as well. So now for the third Aliyah, we're in chapter 30, verse 22. And just a reminder, the link is in the chat if you would like to follow the text of the reading. And for our third, is this Uncle Joey? Is that right? No, wait. Third is Arlene and Joel, sorry. Yamod Yosel ben Vered Tamod Chanasura Bad Hindele Lishlishi. And Lael Shapiro is going to read.
Hey, you gotta unmute yourself, Grandma.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim ve'natan lua el Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayiskor Elohim et Rachel, v'yishma eleha Elohim, v'yiftach et rachmaha, v'tahar v'taled ben, v'tomer asaf Elohim et cherpati, v'tikra et shemo, Yosef lemor, Yosef Adonai li ben acher, Vayehi kasher Yilda Rachel et Yosef, Vayomer Yaakov el Lavan, Shilchini vilcha el mikomi uliratzi, Tina et Nashai ve'et Yeladai, Asher avdeti otecha, Behein ve'elecha, Ki ata yidata et avodati asher avdaticha. Vayomer elav Lavan imna matati chen beinecha nechashti v'yiverkeni Adonai biglalecha.
Mom, you have to unmute. Mom, unmute. There you go.
You want me to say it again?
No,
No.
just the blessing after.
Bottom.
Say it again? I don't understand.
The bottom, Mom. The bottom of
I'm sorry. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan linu Torat emet Deisheye olam nato beto sheno Baruch atah Adonai Notenu HaTorah.
Amen. All right. So now for our fourth Aliyah, we're in Genesis chapter 30, verse 28. And here I am. So this is Grandpa Gilbert, Edward. Yamod Yitzchak ben Moshe be'ita l'revi'i, and Susan Schneiderman is reading the Aliyah.
Mom, go on mute.
Baruch Hu es Adonai HaBaruch.
Baruch Adonai Baruch.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvah sav
Asher bachar banu
savanu aras emes v'chayei olam netabes olcheinu Baruch Atah Adonai nosein HaTorah.
Amen. Vayomar nakva sichacha alai v'teina. Vayomer elav ata yadata et asher avadaticha ve'et asher haya miknecha iti. Ki me'at asher haya lecha lefanai ויפרוץ לרוב, ויברך אדוני אותך לרגלי, ועתה מתי אעשה גם אנוכי לביתי, ויאמר מה אתן לך, ויאמר יעקב לא תיתן לי מאומה, אם תעשה לי הדבר הזה, אשובה אראה צאנך אשמור, אעבור בכל צאנך היום, אשר משם חוסה נקוד ותלו, וחוסה חום בכספים, ותלו ונקוד בעזים, והיה שחורי ואנתקפי צדקתי ביום אחר, כי תבוא על שחרי לפניך, כל אשר איננו נקוד ותלו בעזים, וחום בכבשים, בכשבים, נגובו איתי, ויאמר לבן, הן הוא יקברך, ויעשה ביום ההוא את התיישים, העקודים התלויים, וכל העזים הנקודות והתלויות, כל אשר לבן בו, וכל חום בכשבים, ויתן ביד בניו, וישם דרך 3 ימים, בינו ובין יעקב, ויעקב רואה את צאן לבן הנותרות.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמס, וחיי עולם נטע בסלחנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נושן התורה.
Amen.
Amen. So, wait a second. So that was the 4th, right? So now we're on to
Yes.
5. Okay, so this is Aunt Elise, Yasher Koach, Susan, for that. And let's bring her up. Tamod, Esther, Bat David, Vechana, Yamod, Moshe, Ben Pinchas, Vendela, Lishishi. And is Uncle Mark coming along too?
We're here.
Okay, great. Go for it.
Baruch hu
et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Baruch Olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Li'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayikach lo Yaakov, Makel livneh, lach veluz ve'armon, Vayifatzel bahen, Pitzalot levanot, Machshov halavan asher al hamaklot, Vayatzeh asher hamaklot asher pitzel, Vahatim v'shikatot hamayim asher tavona hatzon lishtot linochach hatzon v'hachamna v'avo'an lishtot v'yechemu hatzon al hamaklot v'teladna hatzon akudim nekudim utluim v'haksafim ifrid Yaakov ויתן פני הצאן אל העקוד, וכוחום בצאן לבן, וישת לו הדדרים לבדו, לא שתם על צאן לבן, והיה בכויכם הצאן המקושרות, ושם יעקב את המקלות לעיני הצאן ברהטים, ליחמנה במקלות, והעטיף הצאן לא ישים, והיה עטופים ללבן, והקשורים ליעקב. ויפרוץ האיש מאוד מאוד, ויהי לו צאן פרות ושפחות ועבדים וגמלים וחמורים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Amen.
Yashar Koach. Who was that little young one in the background there? Let's bring her up.
Cousin Teddy.
All right, hold on. Come on, Teddy. Come on back. I want to see Teddy back in the picture here. There we go. All right. Let's all wave to Teddy. There we go. Thank you. Okay, that's good for a screenshot later on. All right, after Shabbat, of course. So now we go on to the 6th Aliyah, and we are on page 180, chapter 31. We've been reading about Jacob's expertise in animal husbandry, and he's amazing in terms of raising sheep and all kinds of other things. So now we go on to the 6th Aliyah, and that is Mickey Gilbert, and Bert Madwed's going to read. Yamod Shishi.
Baruch Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai Barach Li'olam V'ed.
Adonai Barach Li'olam V'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'chavanu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vishma. את דברי בני לבן לאמור, לקח יעקב את כושר לאבינו, ומאשר לאבינו עשה את כל הכבוד הזה. וירא יעקב את בני לבן, והנה איננו עמו ככמו שלשום. ויאמר אדוני אל יעקב, שוב אל ארץ אבותיך ומולדתך, ואהיה עמך. וישלח יעקב ויקרא לרחל וללאה השדה אל צאנו, ויאמר להם, רואה אנוכי את בני אביכם, כי איננו אלי ככמו שלשום, ואלוהי אבי היה עמדי. ואתנה ידעתם, כי היא בכל כוחי עבדתי את אביכם. ואביכם היטל בי, והחליף את משכורתי 10 מונים, ולא נתנו אלוהים להרע עמדי. אם כל יומם נקודים יהיה שכרך, וילדו כל הצאן נקודים, ואם כל יומם עקודים יהיה שכרך, וילדו כל הצאן עקודים. ויצר אלוהים את מקנה אביכם וייתן לי.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And now the 7th Aliyah, which will be chapter 31, verse 10. Bert's going to be doing the reading, and Rafe and Lori are the Olim.
Baruch et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. ויהי ועת יכם הצאן ואשא עיני וערב החלום, והנה העתודים העולים על הצאן, עקודים לכודים וברודים. ויאמר אלי מלאך האלוהים בחלום יעקב אמר הנני, ויאמר שנא עיניך וראה כל העתודים העולים על הצאן, עתודים לכודים ולודים, כי ראיתי כל אשר לבן עושה לך. אנוכי האל בית אל, אשר משכת שם מצבה, אשר נדרת לי שם נדרת. צא מן הארץ הזאת ושוב אל ארץ מולדתך. ותען רחל לאה ותאמר לו, העוד לנו חלק נחלה בעת אבינו, אבל נוכריות נחשבנו לו כי בחרנו, ויאכל גם אכול את כספנו, כי כל העושר אשר הציר אלוהים מאבינו לנו ובנינו, ועתה כל אשר אמר אלוהים אליך עשה.
אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, חיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Yasher Koach and Mazel Tov. So now cover the Torah with the mantle, just for a moment. And we're going to rise for the half Kaddish, for the Chatzi Kaddish. Harriet, you out there?
Yes, I am.
Go for it.
Okay. Yekadav Yekadash Shemei Rabbah V'yalmad Divra Kirutei V'yamlik Malkutei V'chayechon Uvyomechon U'chayedako Beit Yisrael V'galav Azman Karivi Imaru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach V'yolam Me'omaya Yitbarak Yitbarak V'yistabak V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh Yitadar V'yitalev V'yitalal Shmei Kudasha V'rechu La'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbachata V'nechmata Da'amiran Be'alma V'yimaru.
Amen. Now Cantor Katie is going to call Ilana up for her aliyah. Before we do that, just make sure the Torah is rolled to the right spot, and you know where that spot is for the maftir. The maftir reading is going to be found on in chapter 32, verse 1, page 187 of the PDF, if you're following along, or in the Chumash, and the yellow sticky should be there. You got it? You got the spot?
Yep.
Okay. Cantor.
Ta'amor, ta'amor, habachura habat mitzvah, Ilana Idit bat Raphael Zachariah v'liba, maftira chizki.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Vayashkem Lavan baboker vayashek levanav lelivnotav vayavarech ethem vayelech vayashov Lavan limkomo v'Yaakov halach l'darko v'yivgeu malachei Elohim ויאמר יעקב כאשר העם מחנה אלוהים זה, ויקרא שם המקום ההוא מחניים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Yesher koach. So now the Torah is going to be, yeah, you're entitled to do that. You get a hug, an extra hug from parents. Go for it. So now the Torah is going to be, and as the fee for that hug, you get to lift the Torah or whatever. So go ahead, Ray. Yamod Hagba.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל פי אדוני ליד משה.
Okay, so I just got a question in the chat about whether you can throw candy at the camera. Yes, but not yet. Only after she finishes the Haftorah and the Haftorah blessings. So hold on to that candy if you happen to have any. Meanwhile, the Torah should be wrapped up. Sarah, you want to help out with that too?
Doing a great job.
Oh, there you go. Wait, you got to see this in front of the camera. Okay.
There you go. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe.
Okay, so the Torah now can be placed on the other stand. So that'll give you plenty of room, Ilana, to sort of manipulate. You got your binder there set for the Haftorah?
I do.
Okay, so I am going to put the Haftorah link into the chat because it is a separate link for the two Haftorah. There are different options for this portion. We're doing the Sephardic one, just so you know. And so we're going to follow along with that. We'll hear the blessings. And yeah, take a little water. That's a good idea. And when Ilana concludes the blessings after, that's the appropriate time to lightly toss at your camera or at her the candy that you might have. Okay? Set to go. Go for it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'direhem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai abocher b'torah u'Moshe abdo Israel amo uvinviei haemet ratzedek. Ve'amit Elohim limshuvati ve'el all yikra'uhu yachad lo yiromem ech etenecha Ephraim amagenecha Yisrael ech etenecha chayad ma asimecha kitzvoyim nepach alai libi Yachad nichmeru nichumai lo esecharon api lo ashuv lishachet Ephraim ki el anochi velo ish b'kirbecha kadosh velo avo be'ir acharei Adonai yelachu karye yishag ki hu yishag v'yachardu banim miyam yachardu chatzipor memetzrayim Ochirna meret ashur Uhushabatim abetem nem Adonai Zivabuni bechachash Ephraim Uvmirna Beit Israel Vehuda Od Rad Imel Ve'im Kedoshim Neman Ephraim Ruach Verodech Kadim Kol Hayom Kaza Veshod Yarbeh Uvrit Im Ashur Yichrotu B'Shaman Li Mitzrayim Yuval Beriv Ladonai Im Yehuda Belivkot Al Yaakov Kidrachav Kama Alalav Yashiv Lo Bebeten Akav Et Achiv Ubono Sarat Elohim Vayasar El Malach Vayuchal Bacha Vayitchanen Lo Beit El Yimtza'enu V'Sham Yedaber Imanu V'Adonai Elohei Hatzvot Adonai Zichro Ve'ata Belohecha Tashuv Chesed U'Mishpat Shamur V'Kaveh El Elohecha Tamid Kanan Beyado Moznei Mirma Leashok Ahev Vayomer Ephraim Ach Asharti Matzati only Kol Yegi'ai Lo Yimtznu Li Avon Asher Chet Ve'anochi Adonai Elohecha Meret Mitzrayim Od Oshivcha V'Ohalim Kimei Moed V'dabarti Al HaNevi'im V'Anochi Chazon Harbeiti Uvyad HaNevi'im Adameh Im Gilad Aven Achshav Hayu B'Gilgal Shevarim Zibechu Gam Mizbechotam Kegalim Al Talamei Sadai Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol ha'olamim tzadik bechol hadorot ha'el haneman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'medaber u'mkayin shechol devarav emet v'tzedek Ne'eman atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'ne'emanim devarecha v'davar echad midvarecha Achol lo yashuv rekam ki el melech ne'eman v'rachaman atah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hane'eman b'chol devarav Rachem al Tzion ki beit hayenu v'lal uvad nefesh toshia b'mheira v'yameinu Baruch atah Adonai Yisameach Zion b'vaneha Samachenu Adonai Eloheinu B'Eliyahu Hanavi Avdecha U'malchut Beit David Meshichecha B'mheira yavo ve'agel libenu Al kiso lo yeshev zar ve'lo nikalu od Acherim et kevodo Ki b'shem kadshecha nishbata lo Shelo yigben ero le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Magen David Al Torah ve'al avodah ve'al hanevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu L'kedusha ve'limenucha l'chavod u'tifaret Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu modim lach u'markim otach Yitbarach shimcha b'fi kol chai Tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai V'kadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Now we can throw.
You got me.
Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Yehelanu. Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, and Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Yehelanu. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu,
Okay, now's the time to throw the
Ulecho
candy into the camera.
Yisrael. Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Yehelanu.
Okay. Yashar Koach, that was amazing, and Mazel Tov. So I just want you to know we have 84 participating devices right now at this service, which means well over 100 people. And I've seen a few dogs too. So you got a whole lot of life and maybe even some livestock watching this service, which is very appropriate because of Jacob. Anyway, Mazel Tov, that was amazing. So Ilana, we're going to give you like a half minute to rest. And we're going to move on to the, so you can sit down if you'd like, just if you want to relax. And move on to the healing prayer, the Mishaberach prayer. And despite the simcha that we're feeling, the joy we're feeling, we also understand that these are very unusual times. Unusual, but we can still celebrate. Despite that, we also know that many have fallen ill, many are sick, many are suffering in so many ways, and many are grieving as well. So if you'd like to place names of those who could use a special word of healing, please feel free to do that in the chat as we sing the Mishaberach.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mikol habracha limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikor habracha avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Rabbi, you're muted. Yes, an Ashrei chant.
Okay, so let's continue with the chant of Ashrei, which expresses, despite all of the pain, a sense of gratitude, which is so perfect for this Thanksgiving. And if you would like to place in the chat anything you're particularly grateful for on this Thanksgiving, feel free to do that. This is a great opportunity, as you'll find Ashrei on page 181.
May I start?
Yep.
Ashrei Yoshvei Leitzecha Od Yehalelucha Od Yehalelucha Ashrei תשווה ואיתך עוד יהללוך עוד יהללוך
תהילת אדוני ידבר פי, ויברך כל בשר, שם קודשו לעולם ועד, ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד עולם. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Wonderful. And there are so many things to be grateful for, and a few people have put those into the chat, and you can continue to do that as we continue with our service. We're going now to return the Torah to the Ark using your prayer book if you'd like, or the PDF. You'll find it on page 183, Yahalelu, as the family will be taking the Torah and returning it, and the Ark will be opened. Go ahead, Ilana. Yahalelu.
Hallelujah, et Shem Adonai, ki nizgav shemo levado.
So Ilana, you go to the back as we continue to sing, so you can receive the Torah and hand it then to your parents and put it in the Ark.
Hodo al eretz v'shamayim vayarem keren l'hamo tehila lecho chasidav livnei Yisrael am kirovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Eitz chaim hi lamachzikim ba v'tomcheha meushar dirachecha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva chadesh chadesh yameinu chadesh yameinu
And now the Ark is closed and everyone can be seated. And Ilana, find your way back up to your binder, and your speech should be somewhere around there. Because I know of at least 82 devices and the hundreds of people and animals that are connected to them that are really, really anxious to hear what you have to teach us about this Parsha and about becoming bat mitzvah. So why don't we go for that after you take a drink of water.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom. What a year. Am I right? I would have never imagined having a year such as this one. I feel like I'm in a video game or a movie, trying not to catch the virus, trying not to spread it to other people, living life very much one day at a time. And while still working to prepare for the future, rather than getting me down, this period of time has helped me to appreciate all of the blessings I have in my own life even more. It may feel like we are stuck at home, and we have been, but I recognize that I am grateful to have a home. Not everyone is as fortunate as I have been, Despite the many losses, disappointments, and stresses that we have endured over the past 9 months, a better appreciation for what we still have is truly a silver lining highlighted by the pandemic. In today's Torah portion, Jacob also learns to appreciate the home and family that he has and the home he had to leave behind to find his way. He has a dream of angels going up and down a ladder to heaven, and then God promises Jacob that someday he will return home in peace. The title of the portion, Vayetze, means, and he went out. Jacob went out from his father's home and spent 20 years working to meet his goals. He trusted in God that all would work out, and after 2 decades of effort, he returned home to his father, Isaac, with his 2 wives and their servants, 13 children, and half a flock of sheep, maybe even some housewares and tchotchkes too. Wherever he went, however long he was gone, and whatever circumstances changed along the way, he was still welcomed home by his family. A year ago last summer, I took a trip with my family to South Africa. It was the first time I was ever so far away from home. I was a little worried, although very excited, as we left on this long trip. I'd never been on a plane for so long, so I lay back on the scratchy pillow and itchy blanket on the uncomfortable squished plane seat. Still, I had it better than Jacob riding on a camel for weeks on end in the desert and sleeping on a rock for a pillow. So yes, another opportunity for appreciation. As I saw the beautiful sights of Johannesburg, Cape Town, Durban, and Pinda Game Reserve, I was far from home, but this also gave me a chance to see how others live in a totally different part of the world, both people from a foreign land and exotic wild animals in the reserve. I saw so many animals, cheetahs, lions, warthogs, kudu, and I especially loved the elephants. It was a wonderful feeling to see them roaming free in their habitat, to see them so at home. One afternoon when we were walking in Cape Town, I was having an ice cream and couldn't finish it because I was full. I threw the ice cream into the garbage can. Then I saw a poor and hungry little boy take it out of the can and eat it. I just stood there in shock and wanted to cry. It really upset me. I knew then and there that I wanted to do something about homelessness and hunger. This problem has become even worse during the pandemic, and so I decided to take it on as my mitzvah project. To me, being homeless in any circumstances is truly unfathomable, even worse in a time of global health crisis. Having no food, shelter, or entertainment during quarantine is truly unimaginable to me, and I know it is unfortunately the norm for so many around us. I am hopeful we can all chip in to help where we can to really make a difference. Just like for Jacob, with faith, time, community support, and plenty of effort, we can all work on and change our own lives and the lives of those around us. For those of us fortunate enough to have a loving family and all of the basics for a comfortable life, we should appreciate this every day. We should share wherever we can, and we should have faith and take comfort in knowing that Hashem will bring us to where we need to be, and we will always be welcomed home by those who love us. I would like to thank my wonderful family for supporting me and loving me through everything. I would particularly like to thank my parents. Mom, you are the strongest, most talkative, and the most thoughtful person I know, and I truly look up to you in so many ways. Dad, you are the most intelligent, hilarious, and interesting person I have ever met. You both have such amazing qualities and have been so kind and generous to me throughout the years. What you guys have for me is more than unconditional love, and I love you so much. I would also like to thank my little sister, Sarah, for always being so honest and generous to me my entire life, even when I totally didn't deserve it. You guys are the most awesome built-in best friend a girl could ever have. I would also like to thank all my wonderful friends, whether you're from school, camp, or in the Stamford crew, know how much I appreciate you. You guys really make my days whenever I speak to you. I also want to acknowledge Emmett Mannheim, my friend who cannot be with us in person today, but is always with us in spirit. We miss you. A quick but tremendous thank you to all of my Hebrew school teachers and mentors for helping me be the Jew I am today. Special thanks to my bat mitzvah tutor, Judy. You have helped me so much through this year, and I am forever grateful. Thank you to Rabbi Hammerman and Cantor Katie for all the help you have given me to prepare for today. Thank you.
Okay, so How can I possibly top that? I won't. That's spoiler alert. But speaking to you, we can't be on the same bima this morning, but we're both on bimas. We're both in front of arcs. So from arc to arc, I have a few words I want to say to you, Ilana. And it's so wonderful to have the opportunity to do that. I know how important Thanksgiving is for your family, how it is a huge holiday. Your mom and dad's 15th anniversary was just yesterday. And I don't think that 15 years ago, they could have imagined this moment of their daughter's bat mitzvah taking place on Thanksgiving, not to mention in the circumstances that we're dealing with. But this is also exactly 400 years since the Pilgrims signed the Mayflower Compact after wandering across the sea in 1620 to find religious freedom. I can't imagine that 400 years ago, the Pilgrims stood around and said, you know, there's going to be a bat mitzvah in Stamford 400 years from now. I don't even know if they knew what a bat mitzvah was. They probably didn't because it hadn't been invented yet. And even just 1 year ago, we were all so carefree, sitting around, having a bris with your class, and oh my, there you are, holding the baby. 1 year ago, you were holding a baby at a bris, albeit a doll. And, you know, we sort of do things, you know, this year has been sort of topsy-turvy. So we have parenting and the bris first, and then bat mitzvah second. But there we were, all sort of carefree, as I said, and not worrying about being socially distanced. So this has been quite a year. And yet here we are, and we're here to celebrate. And we're here to celebrate, as you talked about, pilgrimages, like the Pilgrims, like your trip to Africa. And back in the day, when our ancestors brought offerings to Jerusalem, they went on pilgrimage and they talked about Jacob. Jacob was the model pilgrim. They said, a wandering Aramean was my ancestor. Arami Oved Avi. We say it at the Passover Seder too. He was the original homeless wanderer. And so we come full circle today, Ilana, and you chose to talk about wandering and homelessness on this weekend at a perfect time. Now, you know, other kids might have just slipped a coin to figure out, what's my mitzvah project going to be? But you are very serious about yours, and I know that because we talked about it, and also because you are so sensitive. You know, that story about the child in Cape Town, it just brings us to tears. And I know it did for you. Such a gift of empathy that you have, and you show it in so many ways. You love little kids and you work with them and after school programs and all the things you do. You really just care. It sort of oozes out of you. It comes so naturally to you, even among kids your own age. And I've seen this personally. You know, if there's one student or one friend or whatever who's sort of left out, who's not part of the group, you're the one to bring that person in. You're the one always caring. You know, COVID has forced kids to grow up a little faster this year, but you are already there. Now, your portion, Ilana, isn't just about wandering. It's also about goodness. You see, Jacob was a bit mischievous. He was the Bart Simpson of his day. And he was always playing pranks on his father and on his sibling, and he was always getting it back in return. But the underlying message is that it's good to be good. And that is what you are. And you wanted me to talk about the Simpsons today. So here I go. You know, one thing I love about the Simpsons is that there's a serious message, even though it's really funny. And the message is about how regular people try to do the right thing in spite of their limits. Sometimes we're good, sometimes we're bad. And when we're bad, we face the consequences and we have to write it on the blackboard 100 times. At times, Bart is a little morally challenged. Or as he would put it, it's not that I'm bad, it's just that I can't be good. In one episode, Bart actually meets his evil twin brother, who turns out to be Bart himself. Now, there was that time that Homer bought Bart a Krusty the Clown doll, and the clown turned evil and tried to kill Homer. It turned out the doll had a simple switch. That switch was on its back, and that just needed to be moved from bad to good. The switch That's all that it had to do, was switch on the good. Basically, that just turned Krusty into someone good. He hugged Homer and gave him a bath. In some ways, we all have that switch. When people push our buttons, so to speak, they cause us to do bad things we would never do otherwise. And if people are nice to us, it helps us to move our switch to good and be nice in return. And then there was the time that Homer sold his soul to the devil for a donut. What can you say? So the Simpsons were not the first to wonder about good and evil. In your portion, they do too. Jacob is a deceiver, and he is in turn deceived. The name Jacob means deceiver. It means heel. And he was also not just a wandering Aramean, as I said at the beginning, but you take the word Aram, where he was from, Aram, and you reverse the letters and you get Ramai, trickster, someone who fools other people. There was not that much difference between Jacob and Bart Simpson after all. So once again, a perfect reason for you to become bat mitzvah this Shabbat. In real life, good people suffer all the time, and evil people seem to be rewarded for no reason at all. Some people end up on the streets, homeless and hopeless, but for the goodness of people like you, Ilana. And so I'm about to declare you bat mitzvah, but as you know, in this COVID period, we want to make it extra hard. So I give a special exam, a special final that will be for all the marbles, and that will determine whether you are, in truth, a bat mitzvah. And this test is going to be about the Simpsons. So you ready? I'm going to highlight you because this is like, you know, all right, you a little nervous? You okay? You good? You good?
I'm okay.
Okay. All right, here we go. Now remember, one wrong, and we go through another year of training. Just saying. All right. Question 1. He was born to Jewish parents and grew up on the Lower East Side of Springfield. His father, respected Rabbi Hyman Krastowski, forbade his son from becoming what he eventually became. Who is this person?
Krusty the Clown.
Oh my God, you got one. Krusty the Clown. Okay, number 2. There is an Orthodox synagogue in Springfield. What is its name?
Temple Beth Springfield.
Yes, Temple Beth Springfield, which is, by the way, a subsidiary of Temple Bethel. Just saying. Okay, Temple Beth Springfield is located also not far from Reverend Lovejoy's First Church of Springfield. And they're so close, in fact, that once the church marquee carried this sort of non-ecumenical message. What was the message that it carried on its marquee?
No synagogue parking.
Yes, no synagogue parking. Okay. Question 4. Otherwise, relations between Reverend Lovejoy and Rabbi Hyman Krastowski were cordial. The rabbi, bearded and dressed in the black garb of Hasidim, is a regular in the minister's weekly call-in radio show, Gabbin' About God, according to the Simpsons Guide to Springfield. And what do the rabbi and reverend do every Friday?
The rabbi plays basketball against Lovejoy in the annual Springfield two-man interfaith Jimmy Jam. Okay, there you go. All right, next question. Now, this is a sort of a serious question. There were some anti-Semitic incidents that occurred on The Simpsons. Which of these occurred? 1, Lovejoy keeps the rabbi's address and phone number on his non-Christian Rolodex. 2, at the elementary school, Principal Skinner is heard fielding an angry call from the superintendent and says, I know Weinstein's parents were upset, but I was sure it was a phony excuse. I mean, it sounds so made up. Yom Kippur. And, 3, the local Jewish hospital is considered the best, if the most pricey, according to an ambulance driver. Or 4, all of the above. All of the above.
Yeah, all of the above. Yeah, occurred on The Simpsons. Okay, hints. There are hints that The Simpsons themselves might be Jewish. True or false? Okay, I'm going to do these one at a time. You tell me, true or false, did this occur on The Simpsons? 1, in one of the opening chalkboard sequences, Bart writes, I am not the reincarnation of Sammy Davis Jr.
True.
Yes, that's true. Okay. While watching The Rapping Rabbis on television, Homer asks Marge, are we Jewish?
True.
True. Okay. This is for all the marbles. All right. This is it. Last question. Otherwise, a year of training, which, you know, with Cantor Katie and Judy Aronin and our teachers and Mara and whatever, that wouldn't be so bad. But I think you don't want to go through this again. Okay. 3, a menorah is seen in the Simpsons family storage closet without comment on how or why it got there.
True.
True. That's it. I'm going to throw some more candy. All right. You are indeed bat mitzvah. All right. So, Ilana, I want to give you one more thing. How are you feeling at this moment?
I'm really happy.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. So anyway, this is a Tanakh. It's a special gift of our sisterhood. And within the Tanakh, there is a certificate for a tree that's been planted in Israel in your name, a gift of our board of trustees. I'm going to hand this to you in the magical style that will automatically transfer to your hands. Are you ready? You know, you sort of like have to have your hands ready. All right, here it goes. Oh my God, wait, hold on, wait, we got a spotlight there. Oh my, there you are. It's just amazing. All right, so I'm going to magically poof a men's club Kiddush cup in your direction. Are you ready? Here it comes. Oh my God, there it is. Anyway, yeah, yes, that is cute. One more thing. I am so proud of you. I cannot tell you how proud I am of you. I know that this hasn't been easy. I know it's not easy for any of your classmates. I also know that doing the bat mitzvah this way at this time is very special. And someday, God willing, you'll be able to tell your grandchildren that you became bat mitzvah on the Thanksgiving of COVID, and that in fact, your bat mitzvah was more meaningful because of that, and that many people watched it and were here with you in spirit. So I'm going to give you a virtual hug because we're finding out that things virtual these days are as real itself, okay? So here's my virtual hug for you. Wait, hold on. And there's the virtual hug return. So I want to call your parents up, wish them happy anniversary, and I know they have some things they want to say to you, and a special blessing.
All right. I cannot believe your bat mitzvah has finally arrived. It literally feels like yesterday that I was pregnant with you. For many of you that do not know Ilana well, I would love to fill you in on some of Ilana's amazing traits and qualities. Ilana is funny, intelligent, dramatic, caring, kind, persistent, loves animals, and loves junk food. Ilana turned 13 back in September, but we decided to hold off on her bat mitzvah, intending to have a huge celebration with friends and family over Thanksgiving weekend. Family is very important to us. We are blessed to have a large family and wanted to find a time that Ilana could have most of her cousins home from college. Ilana has 7 first cousins in college and another 7 first cousins that are school age or toddlers. Aunts, uncles, second cousins, etc. I think that many kids would be upset to postpone their bat mitzvah by 3 months, but Ilana was totally fine because she really wanted her family to be home to celebrate. Fast forward, and here we are today. The world has turned upside down by this pandemic, and we are all just trying to stay sane and take it day by day. Ilana was definitely disappointed that her huge party was not going to happen, but I am really proud of how she's taking this in stride and making the best out of a bad situation. I'm so proud of the amazing woman you are now and the wonderful woman I see you becoming. I am Jewish, but unfortunately was not raised with a Jewish education. You went to a Jewish preschool and then started Hebrew school when you were just 6 years old. There was never a day that I can remember that you didn't want to go. You love to learn and really soak everything in, you soak in all of the information. You are proud to be Jewish and are a wealth of information. We celebrate Shabbat every week, and I love to watch you do the prayers with Sarah and Daddy. Thank you for teaching me, as I'm literally learning through your eyes. I know your dream one day is to go to Cornell and be a veterinarian, just like your dad, but all I wish for you is a lifetime of love, health, and happiness. I love you to the galaxy, sun, and moon, and all the way back to Earth.
All right. Gilbert sent to cry, so I'm going to try not to. Well, I am so very proud of you every day, but especially. You began preparing for your bat mitzvah months ago. I remember listening to you practice brachot and then your haftorah, and I remember thinking to myself, how beautiful. I listened quietly, letting your voice enter my ears and my brain. I thought to myself for the first time, probably ever, that I understood the phrase, sing unto the Lord. The sound of your chanting was truly angelic, but God himself really enjoyed hearing. You were amazing, and I hope you're as proud of yourself as we all are. As I was putting together my thoughts to share with you today, I found my memories wandering through the many, many highlighted moments of the past 13 years. I remember like it was yesterday rocking you in a glider chair, giving you your bottle in the middle of the nights, thinking that no matter how much sleep I was missing, there was not a moment that we spent together that I would ever trade. When you got older, I drove you to preschool, gone nearly every day. We would sing all the way to school. Your favorite, even then, the Beatles. We used to blast, I Want to Hold Your Hand through the speakers and hold hands along the ride, dancing in the car. By age 4, we knew almost all the words to all the songs on Beatles 1. I remember your excitement on our first camping trip. You were so thrilled to be out in the woods, living in real life, all the things you learned about at day camp in nature group. You said, "Look, Dad, it's real nature," as you pointed to a caterpillar crawling in the ground between your feet. And my favorite line, "I can't believe I'm in a real tent." Your expression of joy and amazement was priceless, and I kept it with treasured memories. I saw a similar look on your face when you were mastering your bat mitzvah material. So happy for the realization of this occasion. All of this was only imagined and far away until it all finally came together, and here we are now, real bat. Today we read from the Torah, and I chose to chant the first parsha in honor of you on your big day. And in the translation of the few sentences I read, I decided to look for a meaningful message to share with you, which actually wasn't so easy because the story was about two sisters fighting over stuff they didn't want to share. So we looked. In this particular case, Rachel had the affection of Jacob, and Leah had a basket of mandrakes, medicinal root vegetables, that Rachel wanted. So of course, they came to a compromise and traded for the night. That was not really the last. So every Friday night, between candlelighting and Kiddush, I give you and Sarah your brachas. And we'll do it again for you today. We say, may God make you like Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. These are the matriarchs, 4 mothers whose children became the Jewish nation. And here we have 2 of them, ones whose actual children became the 12 tribes of Israel, bickering about who gets the mandrakes and who gets them. Just like normal sisters, they argued about the day-to-day things in their lives. Yes, they were matriarchs, but also they were normal people, just like all of us. They had the potential within them to create an amazing nation that led to all of us being here today, to all the Jews who ever inhabited the earth. And at the same time, they were real human beings with jealousy and anger and love and complex thoughts about their lives. They were both regular and outstanding at the same time. And this is that you are both normal at the same time. You can be angry or upset about things sometimes, and still you are fun and creative and loving, sweet. You can be anxious or nervous, and at the same time you can sing directly to the heavens and bring joy to the world. Like Rachel and Leah, you sometimes argue with your sister, and then you make up and sing and dance in TikTok. And when you're upset, you can't help but join in singing when all you need is love comes on the radio. And then everything is beautiful again. I would venture to bet that if I asked you 6 months ago if you could do all you did today right here, you would not have. You're reading and leading, you're chanting and singing. All you have learned and all you have done today is truly a testament to what you can do when you put your mind to it. There will always be obstacles and challenges to what you want to do. To overcome these obstacles, you may need to jump over them or push through them, or even take the long route and go around. Like Jacob, sometimes you may need to adjust your plans to reach your dreams, but whatever barriers arise, you're capable of great things. You can find your way wherever you need to go, just like Rachel, just like Leah. Hashem will get you where you're going. Ilana, mazel tov of your life. My world is infinitely better because you're in it. I love you more than words can express, more than the whole wide world. You're growing up all too fast into the amazing woman who will always, baby.
I messed up my makeup. This is cool.
Oh.
Don't make me cry.
Oh. That was really beautiful. And I get to learn how to sing through crying too. That's bat mitzvah too. When you sing through the crying. But really a truly beautiful job, Ilana. And working with you has been a super joy because as your dad said, the phrase sing unto the Lord is really exemplified in you. And I don't know if you knew you had it in that same way until you really started getting into this process. I knew you had the voice. You knew you had a beautiful voice. You had musicality. That was there to begin with. But in working with you, I've just seen you blossom. And what comes through you is more than a beautiful voice. It truly is a gift. It's truly a gift. And it truly, I think for all of us who were on last night, for all of us who are on and hearing you today, to hear you chant is to be in the presence of God. And it's magnificent. So I know that your dad and your mom was mentioning that, Cornell and becoming a vet is a place for you, but I'm going to let you know right now, there's also a place for you on the Bima. You have what it takes. You have the heart, you have the soul, you have the voice, and to be led by you is truly, it's a gift to all of us. So I thank you so much. And I know this is just the beginning. I'm telling you, this is just the beginning of what you'll hear from Ilana. She's going to sing more and she's going to be involved. You're on, right? She said she will. She'll join me. It's just a pleasure to work with you and a pleasure to sing and to daven with you. And so as Jacob went out and dreamed of angels, I wish for you that you go out. You go into this land that we don't know. Like you said, who would have ever thought that this would be the way that we're able to mark this milestone for you? And we don't know what's around the next corner. But we do know that you will go forth and be a blessing wherever you go and whatever you choose to do. And so, Lechi lach to a place you do not know. L'chilach. On your journey, I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. L'chilach. L'chilach. And I shall make your name great. Lech lecha, and all shall praise your name. L'chilach, to the place that I will show you. L'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, l'chilach. And Ilana, you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. For you already are a blessing. L'chilach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Mazel tov. And let's now continue with our service. We do part of the Musaf service, the traditional Musaf service, part of what makes us a traditional congregation, a conservative congregation, to repeat the Amidah, especially in memory of the glory days of Jerusalem and recalling the destructions and the sadness as well. So you'll find the Kedusha, you'll find the Amidah rather, preceded by the Chatzi Kaddish, back in your prayer books, and you can use the PDF, page 184.
יתקדש ויקדש שמי רבה ועל מה דברה קידותי וימליך מלכותי ברעיכון וביומכון וחיי לכל בית ישראל בגלה בזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי המיה. יפרח וישבח יפאר וירומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי לקודשה ברכו לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el hagadol hagibur ve'hanora El Elyon Gomer chasadim tovim ve'koneh hakol ve'zocher chasdei avot ve'imahot u'mevii goel לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ופוקד ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ופוקד שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מחכה חיים בחסד מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בגבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממית ומחיה מחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. נעריצך ונקדישך כסוד שיח שרפי קודש, המקדישים שמך בקודש, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר. קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך הארץ כבודו. כבודו מלא מלא עולמי מקום כבודו, כבודו מלא מלא עולמי מקום כבודו, משרתיו שואלים שואלים זה לזה איה מקום כבודו, משרתיו שואלים זה לזה איה מקום כבודו, לעומתם ברוך יאמרו
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו,
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו, ממקומו הוא יפה מרחמים ויחונם, המייחדים שמו ערב ובוקר בכל יום תמיד, פעמיים באהבה שמה אומרים. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד, הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו, והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו שנית, שנית לעיני כוחי, והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו שנית, 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 שנית לעיני כוחי, להיות לכם לאלוהים.
אדוני אלוהיכם.
אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ובדברי קודשך כתוב לאמור. ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש, לדור ודור, לדור ודור. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי המלך גדול, כי המלך גדול, גדול וקדוש אתה, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
And you can feel free to continue with the Amida if you'd like, silently on your own. I put the PDF back in the chat. But we're going to proceed to page 203 for Kaddish Shalem, the full Kaddish.
יקרא ויקרא שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה קירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חונו וימלכונו וחיי דחו בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו.
אמן.
יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעלם עולם מעלמיה. יפרח וישתבח ויפאר וירומם וינשא ותדע וידלה ודלה שמי דקודשה, ברכו לעילם מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תשבחתה ורחמתה, תמירה בעלמא ויאמרו. Amen. תקבל תלותכנו ואתון לכל ישראל קודם אבוהון דבשמיא ואמרו. אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיא וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו. אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו. Amen.
And now, Aleinu, as we rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שעונות השמיים נזר הארץ משך קרוב לשמיים. ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
And I would like to ask Lisa now to give the announcements while I go back into my office and try to dig up the art site list.
Okay. Hi, Ilana. Okay. Whoa, amazing. First of all, mazel tov to you and to your mom and dad, Lori and Rafe and Sarah. Ilana, you have made your family, and I will add your family friends, so proud today. You led this service with poise and grace and skill, and you are such a beautiful, beautiful girl inside and out.
Thank you.
Oh, we love you so much. And like Cantor Katie said, listening to you sing and chant and pray was a gift to the entire congregation. And also congratulations on being the first kid to inspire a Simpsons sermon. Let's hope it's not the last. So,
I love The Simpsons.
I know you do. I know you do. And you, along with all the other kids who've recently become bar and bat mitzvah, have given so many of us hope for the future. So thank you. So now I get to do the other announcements, which are not as fun as talking about your bat mitzvah. But here are some highlights from this week's announcements, which everybody can read in their entirety in the weekly Shabbat announcements. But here are some highlights. TBE members, we want everyone to stay connected in fun and engaging ways during the winter months ahead. So we are launching TBE clubs based on your needs and interests. So respond to the email survey you received last week. I know Lori already did, so your mom's such a good example, Ilana.
Great job.
And let us know what you'd like to do. The surveys are due by December 1st. So we need some volunteers because we are making up Hanukkah gift bags for every child 12 and younger who's a member of our congregation. If you can help deliver these to families' homes on Sunday, December 6th through Wednesday, December 9th, please contact Lisa Gittleman-Udi. Sunday fun days at Emmett's Playground. I know there's one tomorrow from 11 to 12:30. These are every Sunday, weather permitting. Tomorrow I think is supposed to be beautiful. So just make sure you register in advance. If you look on the Shabbat announcements, there's a link. And if you have any questions, call Jamie Fenner. There is a coffee and Pirkei Avot discussion with Rabbi Jerry on Monday at 1:30. There's meditation and guided imagery with Cantor Katie Kaplan on December 1st at 7 o'clock on Zoom. So you can also get the link in the Shabbat announcements. On Tuesday, we also have World AIDS Day, and there's a virtual interfaith service. So we're going to join together with Stamford's interfaith community celebrating World AIDS Day. The Temple Bethel Men's Club is sponsoring a blood drive on Wednesday, December 2nd from 11 to 4. And it's appointment only, so no walk-in. So again, go to the Shabbat announcements, and there's a link to sign up for that. This is actually kind of a new and exciting thing. We're having a workshop on implicit and unconscious bias. It's a two-part series, but the first one is this week on Thursday, December 3rd from 5:30 to 7. And I just want to just give a little bit of more information about this. The SETA committee has created this series and invited Debbie Smith Rayford to speak and facilitate the sessions. And a little bit about the session, it's called Breaking Down Bias. And everyone has unconscious bias. It doesn't make us bad, it makes us human. Gone unchecked and not acknowledged, however, unconscious bias can cause unintended damage and send the wrong message. And this session will help you explore unconscious bias and how to begin to acknowledge and break down some of the blind spots you may have. So we're really excited about this sort of new initiative, and we thank Julie Rosenberg for organizing this and arranging this for us. And finally, we have Shabbat Bim Bam next Saturday on December 5th. Shabbat Bim Bam is for kids 5 and younger, and you can also sign up for that. Once again, I want to just wish a mazel tov to the Gilberts and especially to Ilana, who just made everybody so proud today.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
And thank you, and mazel tov again to the Gilberts and to Ilana. We are so proud of you. I know that the cantor put into the chat, but I will also be sending out and including on a blog page with your recording and some screenshots and your speech, the link to the charity, the Mitzvah Project that you have talked about today, because we want everyone to have the opportunity to donate, to participate in your mitzvah, which just enhances your mitzvah. So now the yahrzeit list, and we recall in loving memory this coming week the yahrzeits of Samuel Berkman, Rose Block, Elizabeth Chimes, Robert Cohen, Estelle Colton, Herbert Doinow, Ruth Drotman, Evelyn Finchler, Jerome Fruithandler, Celia Geisler, Francis Goldberg, Sandra Greenman, Esther Handler, Jerome Hertz, Edith Shapiro Kaiser, Joseph Wayne Kaufman, Harold Keval, Matthew Klein, William Landy, Pauline Leiterstein, Ada Linkov, Shirley Melnick, Martin Meltzer, Lenore Miller, Helene Osman, Rose Perlson, Harry Resnick, Murray Rich, Trudy Savransky, Isidore Sokoransky, Irving Strom, Samuel Teplitsky, Arthur Vilchik, Morton Weinberg, and Howard Winters. Those who mourn and those who recall yahrzeit are invited to unmute yourselves and join in the mourners' Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach yirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach li'olam almei al-maya. Yitbarach v'yitkabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnatzeh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shemei d'kudsha brichu v'yela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata lamiran b'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. V'seh shalom b'yomav v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol Yotzei Tevel v'yimru amen.
V'yimru, 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 amen. V'yimru, 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 amen.
Okay, so here's how we're going to conclude. Ilana, you have, I believe, some grape juice and a challah there. So why don't you bring it up to the table? and you'll do the Kiddush. You're going to lead us in the Kiddush. And so everyone at home can say the blessing and Hamotzi, and then that can lead us to the least expensive bat mitzvah reception ever, because we're all going to basically have our own lunches. But at some point, we are all going to, this is sort of an IOU, we're all going to celebrate all of these bar bat mitzvahs at the same time. We're going to do that. And in fact, we're almost at the end of this year's graduating Hebrew school class. We have one more to go. So we're really going to celebrate sort of the culmination of what has been an unbelievable year. But at the very end of this service, after Ilana finishes the blessing, I invite people to just wish Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov. Just have to speak up so that the camera will pick you up, the Zoom will pick you up, so that they'll see you on their screen as you sort of sign off and wish them Mazel Tov. So go ahead, Ilana, with the blessings.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Yes. It's a beautiful Kiddush cup.
We got the hand washing action.
Okay, Duke, go for it.
I spilled.
No one knows.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitashim mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvot yadayim.
Amen. Got the challah there? Can you swing the camera down so we can see this challah? Because I'm dreaming of a nice challah. Oh my God, that is a good challah. Okay, go for it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Okay. And I think Sarah gets the first piece. Just to honor her.
Sure. Take the end piece there. Wait, you got... Okay.
Okay, and Rafe and Lori, why don't you get in front of the screen so you can see everyone as they sign off and, you know, and say Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov. And I wish everyone a safe journey home, except you're probably mostly at home. And but those who are in the congregation today, the small group that came with the family, Shabbat Shalom to all of you as well, and Mazel Tov. Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel Tov.
Shabbat Shalom.
Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Ilana. Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov, Ilana. We love you.
Congratulations.
Mazel Tov, Ilana and family.
Thank
you.
Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov and Shabbat Shalom. I'm so proud of you, Ilana. Just a magnificent,
Thank you so much, Judy.
magnificent job. I'm so proud and so thrilled for you. Mazel Tov to all of you.
Sound done, honey?
Sending hugs and hugs.
Sound quick.
Hi, Ari.
Quick, come over here. Hurry. They're going to go to me soon.
Ilana, I'm so proud of you.
Oh.
Thank you.
I love you, baby.
You guys are amazing.
Beautiful.
I got your keys.
Ilana, you did an amazing job. We love you.
Congratulations. Bye, guys. You did a beautiful job. Love you all.
Great job.
Hi, Karen. Uncle Phil.
Mazel Tov. I love you so much. I miss you.
Ilana, the Shapiros love you. Mazel Tov, Gilbert.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Beautiful lady. Thank you.
Thank you, Fidelia.
Mazel Tov.
Mazel tov again.
Guys.
Bye.
Mazel tov, Gilbert. We love you. You did a great job.
Razzle Rav.
Razzle Rav.
No.
And Mazel tov.
Hi, guys. Oh, hi, Oreo.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
You're great.
Great job, Ilana.
Thank you.
And your makeup still looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Say Mazel tov. I don't.
You're on.
I can hear you.
Mazel tov, Ilana.
Thank you.
Yashikov.
Yashikov.
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Mazel tov, Ilana.
Mazel tov, guys.
Thank you.
Beaches,
Beautiful.
beautiful family, wonderful, wonderful job, Ilana. We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
And Rabbi and Cantor, thank you. What a wondrous morning and an amazingly beautiful service. Thank you so much to my Rabbi and my Cantor. Hugs and hugs.
Thanks, Judy.
Thank you, Judy.
Ilana, you were amazing. So proud of you. Just such a shining example.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And miss you. Miss you.
I miss you too.
We're all like starving. We're eating the omelet. No, I gave it out. Okay. Okay, we're gonna sign out.
Thank you.
Felicitaciones, Ilana.
Bye.
Oh, Wendy, let's see the baby.
That's Lyle.
Felicitaciones, besitos, besitos.
Oh,
Oh, that's Wendy.
oh, he's so cute. Oh. Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you. And Mazel tov. We're down to about 16 still hanging on. So you tell me when you're ready to.
Yeah, we're gonna sign off. We're starving.
Okay, you go eat then. Everything's
Thank you.
fine. You don't need to do anything. Alberto is going to come and take care of the bima.
Great, thank you so much.
Gilbert.
Have an amazing day. Enjoy your day, your special day.
Okay, I'm going to end it. All right.